All right, step 4 is the plans of intent. If we navigate to district information and go to plans of intent, this section explains how plans of intent and corrective action plans are automatically generated in the PRF system based on the certification data held in the educator's certification system. The purpose of this collection is automatically generated based on what you entered in the educators section. It helps you identify gaps in licensure. It tracks staff who are not yet fully certified for their assignments, and it outlines how they will become certified through district supported plans. There's two different types of plans. The corrective action plan, I'm going to cover first. It's referred to as CAP. Corrective action plans are used when an individual is actively pursuing certification, but is not yet fully licensed for their assignments. The key points: once the educator obtains their license, the status column will show that the CAP is completed. Now is the time to review your corrective action plan list and alert your principals. They should have a heart-to-heart conversation with these educators. Educators on the corrective action plans do not count towards teacher compensation unless they hold a valid license by the second Friday in June. The example we're going to use is Mr. Potato Head. And you'll notice the plan is marked as required. It hasn't been submitted, so it still has a piece of paper with a pencil. If they've been submitted, they turn to an eyeball. Mr. Potato Head was the long-term sub for the K through 12 special education. His plan of intent, you'll have to select temporary. The reason hired field should be marked as the long-term sub with a waiver. For the plan of action steps, the plan of action steps for him, need to complete the waiver application using the administrative rule waiver application for long-term subs. Joe, would you put that link in the comments?
Yes.
Needs to gain school board approval and need to email the completed waiver and school board minutes to doe@state.sd.us. Joe, would you also put the accreditation email in the comments?
Yep. Pulling them out right now, Jantina.
Okay, thank you.
Jantina,
Yeah.
if you have a moment, we did receive a question. Looks like Richard from Rapid City, wondering if there are any functionalities of the PRF website that have changed from last year. Or is everything the same? Richard, I think our general comment here would be, in short, they do remain the same. The process should remain the same. You will notice small modifications based on the development work. But from a collection standpoint, everything should remain exactly the same, as we haven't had much policy or rule change on that side. Tina, would you agree with that?
Yeah, we have the updates link on our PRF website. It was also sent out through email. There are a couple, reports on those expiring certs that you guys will need to handle now. But a lot of this collection stayed the same.
Perfect. And I will send a link to the direct updates document so that if people are curious, they can grab that.
Yeah. All right, as far as the plan completion date, most school boards meet monthly, often on the second Monday. So plan accordingly, and you can submit that date, as the plan completion date. Don't forget to submit the plan of intent, so it gets switched from being marked required to, being marked submitted. Next, I'm going to cover the non-authorized plans of intent. Um, these are required for an employee serving outside their current certification. The plan of intent outline shows how the district intends to help the employee gain the proper licensure. The qualified section of the plan of intent provides options for gaining licensure and the requirements for each of the pathways. The example I'm going to use is Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse has two POIs, plans of intent types. The one plan of intent will be marked as a content for algebra. And the other one will be marked as SPED, which is a dual licensure. So as far as the content plan of intent, let's click on the piece of paper with a pencil and open up this plan of intent. We're going to say that this individual will work towards the algebra licensure. When you click on the endorsement, you can pick the two options. I'm going to pick the intermediate because it has a little easier praxis tests at the middle school level. And then the elementary preparation. Once you pick those two fields and click save, it's going to add the qualifications that are, available to this person. And so this person needs to take one of the PLT tests, and then you can say which option this person intends to do. Most of them will take the praxis test, as going back and getting a major in content area would take 4 years. So again, you need to sit down with the individual and map out their plan. And then you need to click on the submit button. If submit this plan and suddenly the individual is like, oh no, I don't want to take that praxis test, I want to take a different one, you can come in and revoke that submission and select the praxis test that they intend to take. So for the content part of Mickey's class this year for algebra, we have now submitted the plan of intent, but in addition, this Mickey is teaching this to special education students, which requires dual licensure. The other dual licensure areas, again, are English language learners, deaf, hearing impaired, and blind, visually impaired education. So now I'm going to show you how to fill out the SPED part of that plan. Click on the little piece of paper with a pencil. For this plan of intent, we're going to say working towards endorsement. Because it's special ed, they want to know, what duties you're performing with these students. You will pick the endorsement. There's only one. and you'll pick the preparation that the individual holds. When you click on save, it's going to generate the qualifications of options for Mickey to get the special ed endorsement. Again, you know, what PLT are you going to take? For this one, you have to do the state designated coursework. You also need to pick one of the praxis tests. Oh, this was the content test. This is the PLT test. Once you click on save, you just have to remember to scroll up and click that submit button. Again, once you click that submit button, that plan of intent will no longer be marked required. It will be marked as submitted. And once the certification office were to process something, you'll see these get marked as completed. As far as the follow-up process, if an educator states they applied for the endorsement over the summer, the principal can verify the status of their application through the appropriate system, which is the certification portal side of this system. Once the endorsement is officially issued, the plan of intent, if it's still marked as required in this system, it will automatically be removed. If it was marked as submitted and that endorsement gets added, it will get marked as completed. So the principal, you know, will need to sit down with the educator, and I'm going to say okay to that. And verify that they have submitted their application. And you need them to log into their educator profile. Joe, can you put the link in the comments?
Yes.
That educator, Mickey, will need to log into their account. Clicking on the login. Put their email address in. Put their password in. If they submitted an application, like they're telling you, you will see a view application status, and you can view the status of that application to check. If the application is incomplete, the certification office cannot process it until all documents and payments are submitted. If it says new application, then it's waiting for a manual check-in by the certification office to make sure all documents needed have been marked as such. If it's been more than 20 business days and no action has been taken, Mickey can then comment on the application for assistance, and the principal can help them to understand what is needed. In this case, Mickey did apply for the special ed endorsement. You will notice it is marked as incomplete application, pending payment, and then also, you know, transcripts are needed to perform the check for the special ed endorsement. The educator can view what the PRF contact entered on the plan of intent in the PRF platform. The system will display the specific steps the district indicated the educator, Mickey in this situation, intends to complete in order to gain the required endorsement. This information is automatically communicated to the educator through their certification profile, ensuring transparency and shared accountability between the district and the educator. So if we go up to Mickey's profile, by clicking on the educator's name, we can minimize the demographic information. And then down here, we can click on the plans of intent to view what you submitted for this individual. If you discover that no active applications existed for Mickey, you could assist Mickey at this point in submitting a new application through the educator certification system. You just simply need to click on apply to view the suggested options and begin the application process. So as far as other certification system actions, as far as educators without a social security number, if the individual has not yet been issued a social security number, they can create an educator profile on the certification side of the system. During the setup process, they should indicate that they do not have a social. The system will then generate a temporary social security number for them. They need to communicate that to the PRF contact so they can add a PRF record with that temporary number instead of the actual social security number. As far as next steps for the district, if this was someone with a temporary social security number, you would see one of these suggested boxes that says update social security number. Once the educator receives their official social security number, the district must ask the employee to log back into the certification system. The educator should update their profile to replace that temporary social security number with their actual social security number. This ensures the accurate record matching and compliance with certification tracking. And it will merge with the PRF system once they do this. Another option is to update the educator's profile. This is needed for name changes on certificates. There's no fee unless the new you want a new copy of your certificate. Additionally, you can apply to request a copy of the certificate by clicking here. Educators can request a copy showing updated credentials. As far as automated updates in PRF, once the educator gains that additional licensure or endorsement by passing a praxis and submitting the application, the PRF system will automatically update their certification status and mark the plan of intent as completed once processed. If you need certification help, staff can contact certification directly at DOE certification at state.sd.us. Joe, do you want to add that email address to the comments section? Certification staff cannot legally release information to an administrator, but an administrator could call that employee into his office and contact the certification office. Any questions?
No questions at this time, Jantina, and all the links have been dropped in.
Okay.